Cheryl Johnson, firstly, congratulations. New Year's honours. When did you first find out?
I received a letter in the middle of November saying that the Prime Minister had recommended to the Queen that I receive the British Empire Medal in the New Year's honours.
Was it a shock?
Absolutely, yes. It's not something you think that happens to ordinary people. You know, you hear about the famous and those type of people getting awards and that, and just to open a letter and it be there was quite something special. But
with all due respect, you're not an ordinary person, because you deliver a particular well-regarded service. I guess, is that the correct word? And Remember My Baby?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about Remember My Baby?
Yes, Remember My Baby is a photography charity. We offer the families that have had a baby die either shortly before, during, or not long after labour, or those born too early or too poorly to survive. And we go into hospitals, hospices, and take photos for families of their precious baby, with siblings, with extended family if they wish, or sometimes it might just be the baby on their own.
How did this all come about? I
had a friend lose a full-term baby on Christmas Day 27 years ago, and I vividly remember this awful quality Polaroid picture that she had on a mantelpiece. She'd had it enlarged to a 10 by 8, and the quality was really, really poor, and it was just something that stuck with me, that this was her most precious and only memory of her baby back then. And I just thought it could be more, there should be more than this. Fast forward a few years, I became a photographer, and it stuck with me, and it was something I thought that I wanted to do, but I wasn't sure that I could do, because it is quite a challenging situation to put yourself in. But I contacted my local unit, and after some time they finally sort of invited me in to chat, and we took it from there.
And you were, where were you with photography? Were you an amateur keen photographer?
I was a part-time photographer. I worked part-time, and then I did part-time photography, so families and weddings and things like that. And it just extended from there, working with the one unit, and then I reached out to St Thomas's in Westminster and started working with them and their neonates, and it sort of spiralled from there. So
tell us about the process. Parents suffer a loss.
Yes.
Okay. And what happened when your first meeting with parents or a parent? Tell us a little bit about, without naming anybody, but tell us about those first meetings.
They're always it's you never want to receive that call, but we always do our utmost to make it work and find time to go in. Opening that door can be tricky. I always take, even after all these years, a deep breath, and you walk in and you just sort of introduce yourself and you say hello. If you know baby's name, I would always say baby's name or ask what baby's name is, and there's always something positive and beautiful about the baby. So you can always say, oh gosh, look at, she's got lovely curls, or he's got big feet, and by talking to them it normalises the situation, and they like, they're a proud parent, and to talk about their baby and using their baby's name, I think helps them. Once you pick up the camera, you go into pro mode, and that camera's your shield, and so then it's just trying to take the best possible pictures for this family, and realistically that's their lifetime of memories you're going to try and capture. So be it with mum and dad, siblings, extended family, a special teddy, a blanket that was dad's, that kind of thing, and we'll sort of incorporate that all together.
Have you learnt a lot over the years, not only the way you interact with parents, but the whole grieving process?
Oh, absolutely. It was something that most people are frightened of, and especially the death of a child or a baby is people just don't acknowledge it. I remember speaking to a bereaved mum a little while after we'd met through photography, and she said she wasn't her name anymore, she was the lady that number 10 that lost a baby, and that kind of thing. But people avoid interaction because they're frightened to say the wrong thing. But to a bereaved parent, that's the worst possible thing, to ignore them, to blank them. They want to talk if you want to talk, you know, mentioning their baby's name and stuff, and remembering, you know, they would have been 1 or 2 or that kind of thing.
And the hospitals that you work with, like, you have had to build up trust with them over the years?
Oh yes, it can be a very time-consuming process because there's lots of red tape and formalities to go through. But by being a registered charity and we're governed by the Charities Commission helps a lot. But it can take 6-9 months a year to get in. And the only heartbreak for me is all those families that maybe missed the opportunity in that time. But we will do our best for any requests that we get. We also will edit photos for families that we didn't take, be it before we existed or they didn't know about us. We get, you know, 20-year-old Polaroid pictures asking to edit, or we get someone's phone pictures taken from a hospital that didn't know about us or didn't use us, and they email them in and we'll edit them for them.
Do you ever keep in touch with parents?
Some do. I've got on my friends list on Facebook. We have one family that actually joined in with our fundraising. We get a lot of families that do fundraising for us, events. We've just, quite exciting, got some places in the Ride London and the Great North Run, and we've got bereaved parents that are running or competing and stuff, which is nice. And then you get to hear about when they have possibly another baby, which in the baby loss community called a rainbow baby. And I photographed actually the birth of one of my families when they had their daughter sometime later.
Your family must be very proud of you.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. My husband's brilliant. He's a very typical man, proper, and doesn't really want to discuss details and doesn't really want to see photos and stuff. He gives me my space when I'm editing. But it was always brilliant when my children were younger. He would pick them up from school, make sure they had dinner and bath and things like that, so I could just run off. I'd say, I've had a call from the hospital, and he'd say, right, off you go. So he's always been there in the background, and that's a lot for a lot of our volunteers. You know, we're the people that do it, but there's someone that will pick the kids up from the school run, or there's someone that will drop you off if your car's, you know, in the garage, and that kind of thing. It's an extended community that support.
How many hospitals do you work with? You work with those, which is our local hospital here.
Yes, yes, I do. We nationally we work with 87 hospitals, and I think it's something like 15 children's hospices that look after babies as well. So that's it's quite a lot. But in the grand scheme of things, there's about 300 in the country. So we've got a long way to go, but it's not bad going for 4 years as the charity's been in existence.
So as a charity, New Year 2019, what's on your wish list?
Wish list is to recruit more volunteer photographers. We have a team of over 200, but nationally, you know, that's quite a lot with, you know, family commitments, work commitments, stuff like that. Not everyone's available, and we ideally want a team of sort of 2 or 3 with each unit. So again, there's a lot if you look at the overall scheme of numbers. But yeah, our main thing is recruiting more volunteers. They don't have to be professional full-time photographers. We have a lot of the team that work Monday to Friday and do photography weekends. We've got a brilliant lady in Brentwood who works, and then she would drive into London 8 o'clock at night to do photos for a family after a day's work. You know, so we all muck in and do our bit, but we just need more people so we never have to say no to a family.
And finally, back to the award. What happens next? When do you go and see your award?
I will be presented by the Lord Lieutenant. I just don't know when that's going to be yet. That will be at some point. And then in the summer, I'll be invited to a Royal Garden party at the Palace, which will be terribly exciting.
We'll look forward to the photographs.
Oh yes, definitely.
Thank you very much, and well done again.
Thank you.